You thought your dating life has suffered at the hands of a crappy matchmaker? Wait until you get a load of the matchmaking quirk that's making gamers' lives a living hell in Helldivers 2.
There is most definitely a hell. What? And you're all going to go there when you die.
Things can change quickly in the video game industry. Just last week, the Helldivers 2 devs were apologizing to fans after a few unpopular changes were made to the game, and a less than stellar communication strategy left some fans seeing red.
I don't know which way is up! I'm on the verge of losing it, okay?
Now that's getting all patched up, and Arrowhead Games Studio CEO Johan Pilestad is asking fans for help with a new problem facing Helldivers 2. This issue is with the game's matchmaking system. In the popular sequel, one member of your squad acts as a party leader, hosting all the other players. It's a pretty common matchmaking strategy, but it gives game hosts a certain amount of power over their fellow players. Unfortunately, not everyone has been wielding that power nicely. On X, formerly Twitter, one user wrote, "I've been removed from matches due to using a single stratagem or particular weapon the host doesn't like. People will kick for the tiniest reason. On the upside, those matchups have been few and far between, but frequent enough to be notable. Players have taken to the internet to share stories of unruly game hosts kicking them out of a mission for all sorts of petty reasons. Use the wrong gun, get the boot, have a lowish kill count, and while the option to kick players from a match has also proven to be a good thing in many instances, a number of players have been dismayed to encounter someone abusing that power. These types of social hiccups are challenging for developers to address. Luckily, Pilestad has a unique stratagem for this problem. He's calling it the hive mind.
Calm down! We came because we're worried about you!
Pilestad seems to be remarkably tuned into the community and responsive to the fans of Helldivers 2. He regularly checks in with players online, and when he noticed people complaining about being kicked from games for seemingly arbitrary reasons, he decided to address the issue head-on. He tweeted, "This is so also very hard to solve. We have some ideas, but no conclusion. You know what? Let's try this. Hive mind. Do you have a design suggestion for how to improve this experience?" Naturally, the entire Helldivers community was quick to respond to Pilestad's call for suggestions. Some gamers had thought out responses about how Arrowhead could shift its systems to ensure that even when players get kicked from matchmaking games, they can continue carrying out their mission with as little interruption as possible. One player wrote, "Maybe have it where the kick just mirrors the instance you are on. Migrates the player to that instance, and then drop pods the person back into the action with full gear they had on, and whatever turrets and deployables were set up. Instead of kick, it's more like a fork." Others had simpler plans, pointing out that being able to block people who unfairly kicked them from games would prevent them from being matched with those ill-tempered hosts again and again. One of the most common suggestions by far was a vote-to-kick system.
"You are democracy's most elite, least hesitant defenders."
The theory from fans is that if hosts couldn't unilaterally remove players from games, this really wouldn't be an issue at all. At the same time, if there is a problem player in the bunch, the party as a whole could still decide to remove them from the game. Pilestad acknowledged these suggestions, but he also shared his reservations about vote to kick, comparing the host of each match to the owner of the game, and how playing with them is, quote, "kinda like coming over to someone's house." The devs clearly have a vision for how the Helldivers 2 experience should feel. So many fans were happy to see Pilestad openly weighing the team's plans against what the community says it needs. Pilestad hasn't announced any sweeping changes to the game's matchmaking mechanics just yet, but he thanked fans for their input and promised to take all their suggestions to the rest of the team.